Happy Tuesday out there, folks. This is Darius Dale here to present our macro minute for Tuesday, August 16th, 2022, coming to you from parts unknown. So starting with asset markets this morning, we have stocks mixed this morning, commodities mixed, crypto down, dollar up, global bond yields up. Market moving headlines. We have a little resilience from the retailers on the earnings side. So on the corporate front, you have Walmart shares are rising after exceeding some very diminished profit expectations, and it modestly improved its full year forecast. Home Depot is also up after maintaining its forecast for the year, despite better than expected second quarter earnings. So this is something we've been talking about in our research for the past 3 or 4 weeks now, which is the resilience of the U.S. economy in recent weeks. Obviously still slowing on a trending basis, but certainly not to levels, at least not yet, that have that sort of warranted it, that would have corroborated the consensus recession fears going back to the month of June. The market is here for a reason. Anyway, the performance chase is very much on. So we got sentiment no longer being apocalyptically bearish in the Bank of America Fund Manager survey. More investors expect inflation and rate shock will start to ease. So growth expectations and the equity allocation both rose from the lows we saw at the beginning of last month. Investors cut their underweight in stocks to minus 26% from minus 44%, so almost cut in half, while moving back into tech and consumer discretionary shares, and are once again net overweight stocks relative to bonds. Big movers this morning. You have 10-year nominal Treasury yield up 8 basis points to 2.87%. It's off 5 basis points month over month. Bloomberg Industrial Metals Index up 2% to up 15% month over month. Getting into our volatility adjusted momentum signals and probable ranges here. U.S. dollar index, that is bullish FAMS, finally getting a bounce off the lower bound of its probable range in the middle of the range there. Gold bearish FAMS as a function of this recovery in the dollar. We're now seeing gold start to fade a little bit. Got about 3% downside versus 1% upside in its probable range. 10-year nominal Treasury at neutral VAMs still in the middle of the range there. High yield credit spreads, neutral VAMs still at the lower boundary of its range there. It's been grinding that lower really throughout the last 6 weeks. So this is something that the market that's very consistently betting on is sort of an unwind of the Fed, the pressure on the Fed, which we obviously saw going back to that inflation report last Wednesday. But as we talked about on the most recent round the horn, there's a pretty wide range of probable outcomes here in terms of pick your poison on inflation over the next couple of months. So for the full read through on that, definitely go check that out. Definitely not the program for that today. Anyway, S&P 500 neutral VAMs, that is overbought. VIX bearish VAMs still in the middle of its range there. NASDAQ 100 neutral VAMs overbought. Russell 2000 breaking the bullish yesterday. Overbought signal there as well. So this is something to keep in mind. We would be fading that. I don't expect Russell from a sector and style factor perspective. We are still we're currently making the transition from inflation from a bottom up macro regime perspective to deflation. Inflation is where growth slowing and inflation is accelerating, to deflation where both are likely to slow simultaneously. And that setup does not bode well for the outperformance of cyclical sectors and style factors, of which I would consider the Russell 2000 small caps as a style factor to be in that matrix. So going forward from here, we would be fading this bullish signal in the Russell 2000, certainly on a relative basis to things like the NASDAQ or the S&P 500. Bitcoin bearish VAMs, that is overbought this morning. Same thing with Ethereum. The Shanghai Composite neutral VAMs in the middle of its range there. WTI neutral VAMs in the middle of its range there. And agricultural bearish VAMs finally backing off the upper boundary. You got about 1% upside, 7% of downside. And then industrial metals bearish VAMs, those are still overbought as well. So with that, Darius Dale presenting our macro minute for Tuesday, August 16th, 2022. Best of luck out there today.